Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning, folks. Yes, it is morning this time because usually on Sembang Sempoi with Mio Adlan, I would normally come on air at about 2 to 2:30. But today we're starting a bit early because we do have a very special guest that I have on the show today. But before we get to our special guest, macam biasa saya nak tanya kepada anda semua, apa kabarkah anda di rumah sana? Diharapkan anda masih lagi kekal bersemangat, masih lagi menikmati keindahan yang berada di rumah sementara pelaksanaan PKP ini ataupun MCO ini. I really do hope that you guys are still sane, masih lagi chill, masih lagi relax. Yang work from home tu diharapkan anda menjalankan tugas dengan sebaiknya. Hope you are filling up your time with all of everything which is productive and meaningful. Sebab tak semestinya kalau anda berada di rumah, anda tidak dapat menjadi seorang insan yang berguna, yang produktif, yang dapat menjalankan aktiviti-aktiviti yang berfaedah. Just like my guest here actually, because why? Even though during this MCO period, walaupun dalam keadaan PKP sekarang ini, beliau masih lagi sibuk dalam urusan hal hari ke hari beliau, which what he does is that he offers online courses, face-to-face interaction through the internet and everything. So he's definitely filling up his time as much as he can and of course doing well. So ladies and gents, without further ado, my guest today is a broadcasting guru. He's been around for about close to 30 years in the broadcast industry. You all definitely pernah tengok muka dia dekat TV, daripada TV kecil yang kotak kena tepuk tu sampailah ke LCD 60, 70, 80 inch screen. Ladies and gents, without further ado, may I introduce to you Encik Suhaimi Sulaiman. Assalamualaikum Cik Mi.
Waalaikumsalam, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I am doing good. You look great, sangat bercahaya dan sangat clean shaven. I tahu hari tu waktu awal-awal PKP you macam serabut sikit.
Ya, dia rimas dan gatal, so I shaved. Yeah.
Okay, because I thought you were doing the YBKJ look with with your jambang and everything, trying to be like all GQ and whatnot. Tak tahan.
I cannot pull it off. I cannot.
Well, everybody ada kelebihan dia masing-masing, but again, it's good to see you, Cik Mi. It's been a while since we've actually seen each other. It was I think a couple of months back dekat office the other day, and now you are not in Klang Valley.
No, I'm in Malacca. When they announced the MCO, I was already in Malacca, so we have to respect the law. So I stayed in Malacca and tried to be as productive as I possibly can in Malacca.
What is in Malacca? I mean, like, is your hometown in Malacca, or you just like to stay in Malacca?
Well, as you know, before this, I will spend like Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays in Bernama. Because I was a consultant in Bernama. Now, normally by Wednesday petang, I dah balik ke Melaka because petang I'll be in Melaka, Rabu, Khamis, Jumaat, Sabtu, Ahad, and then I would go back to KL because I have 3 different businesses in Melaka. Satu, a backpackers hostel. Now, the backpackers hostel, as you know, is closed for the time being because people are not traveling. All right. Number 2, I have a boutique here because I design together with my business partner. We design batik shirts and we sell lots of other things too. We have a boutique, and then we also have a cafe which is called Sambal and Style. Right now, the only business that's operating from here is basically the cafe. So the cafe, instead of just we used to provide food for delivery, so we work together with GrabFood and also Foodpanda. But now we feel that you need to do more, so we are now basically supplying lunch for more than 300 people working at a call center nearby. So in that sense, I think yes, we are operating as usual. But of course, you have to adjust your operations because what we do on a daily basis. Siapkan makanan, pack, and then we deliver, and then we come back here. And other than that, I also have a 4th business. My 4th business is basically I do lots of training and I speak at conferences. I do moderating work for international conferences. Now, all those berhenti because of COVID-19.
Exactly.
And I think that we shouldn't be depressed, or so I said to myself, I've always wanted to do this, because I've studied masterclass and all this things that is quite popular in the United States and also in Europe. So I said, why can't I bring my training online and be as good as all these people who are in masterclass? And I decided to do just that. And I brought, because I do lots of different trainings, different modules. So I started putting just 3 of my training programs online. Number 1 is basically media spokesperson, basic training spokespersons, how they can have win-win relationship with the media, number 1. And number 2, it's basically on personal branding, because I advise leaders, CEOs, politicians, and also individuals on how to have a very powerful personal brand. And the third one, which is quite popular, many people would want to be great presenters like you, Mio. So they have registered, and they actually enjoyed the third class, which is I call it Be a Star TV or video presenter. You don't just be a normal presenter, but be a star presenter, and that's very, very popular. The coming one is in this coming Saturday. We have 2 more places before we close for that particular session. Now, and what I noticed, first, it was a risk by having it online, But when you look at it, what risk can it be? It's the same, but the interaction must be a little bit different. And online, the only cost that I would have to pay is basically the provider of the platforms. I have different platforms that I work with, and the cost is just that. And then because the cost is just so low, because normally if you have training in hotels and all that, you have to pay for all these costs,
Of course.
5-star hotel nak bagi makanan and all that. This one is just you and me, and then internet connectivity, which is already paid for. So when you have all that, and I was very surprised. I received very positive response, and I can actually use that to pay my staff salary. So it's Alhamdulillah, and it's doing well. And now I said to myself and our team here, we said, guys, now what we should do, we will be a major global online training provider. So we changed it around. So I think we just need to tweak our operations here and there and be smart. So what are the things that you can do to improve the existing products that you have? So it's an opportunity. In any crisis, there will always be opportunities. It all depends on you, on how you see things. Sometimes
very much so. Macam, I mean, exactly what you have done. I mean, as what they say, when God closes a window, He opens up a door. There's always another possible way ataupun ada cara selainnya. All you have to do is just be a bit more creative and try to adapt dan juga enhance how you are able to actually turn things around. Tapi I saja nak cucuk dengan you sikit lah. Yes, of course, when you do this kind of courses and everything online, yes, you save tons of money. Like you said, 5-star hotels, makan breakfast, makan lunch. Orang Malaysia ni memang tak boleh kalau tak makan. Kalau tak ada makanan free, dia orang tak akan datang. Of course, you have to give all those kind of things. But granted, there's only a limited space that is allowed when you do stuff online. What about the human interaction, Cik Mi? Because when you talk about presenting, when you talk about being an MC contohnya, in live audiences and everything, you walaupun nak mengajar, you kind of like have to have that personal touch, proper interaction face to face, so that you boleh memberikan impact yang lebih. Your comments on that? How are you able to turn this around?
At first, I thought I had the same thoughts like you just mentioned. So macam mana nak ada perasaan ni, because you're not close to this person. But when we started, it's amazing how close you can get. Because for example, I'm talking to you right now. I am on one window, you're on another window, and that's very personal. And you feel that you're just so close, because in a classroom you can be way belakang duduk. Jadi you tak kat depan. And katakanlah, normally I would have about maybe perhaps 6 to 8 people in one class. So they will all be in windows yang tertentu, and they can talk to you directly, satu. And you know what? I realized after the training, Yeah. Okay. Normally, I would offer 3 trainings, and then some of them, after going through one training, they say, "Hey, I'm so curious. What also what you would teach in the other training?" So they would go and attend the other training, and then they attended another training. And some of them, after that, they say, "Can you do some tailor something? For our organization?" And there was also a participant, representing her organization. And well, since I'm the chairman of Bernama, so I actually use that opportunity, okay, to say, hey, your organization need this, because as you know, I'm trying to bring Bernama into a different level, whereby we want. I've already mentioned this to the senior leadership team that soon, very very soon, Bernama will be known as the #1 news brand in thought leadership, credible and relatable. Basically, how do you move there? And this lady happens to represent a very powerful brand that can actually assist Bernama. So during the training, and she was very lucky, she was the only one during that training. You know what we did? We actually planned the whole thing on the execution, on the monetization part and everything. And now all you need is just to execute it. Now, so that is what I mean by when you do something, you'll be so surprised. Some other things will actually you will discover, and you feel just so positive, and you smile. Malam-malam pun you boleh mengigau cakap benda-benda tu, because you know your mind, your brain just cannot stop and rest because you're so excited. So I think this is just good.
No, I mean, like, again, God works in mysterious ways. Kadang-kadang rezeki itu kita tak tahu daripada mana. And it so happens that, you come upon this. But of course, benda ni tak akan terjadi kalau you tak ada passion, kalau you tak ada kesungguhan yang tinggi. Alright, it's cool that you mentioned about broadcast. You mentioned about Bernama right now. Right now, you are the new chairman of Bernama. Congratulations to you, Jamie. But as everybody knows that you have been in this industry for almost 30 years. Okay, kalau I nak pull back, what year was that when you started?
When I came back after my MBA in a program in America, I did my undergraduate in America and I did my MBA. I came back. I worked a couple of part-time jobs first. But at that time there was a recession in Malaysia. It was 1987, and then and then I worked for a bank, for 3 years. So that gave me the confidence when there was an advertisement in TV3 at that time. They wanted somebody with a finance background, 2 to 3 years of experience in the finance background. And I applied and I got the job. So I started in the journalism, broadcasting, production, TV, reporting and all that for almost 30 years. Now it's 2020.
2020 dah. So yang menariknya, of course, I mean, like, you've seen a lot. Granted, you started 30 years ago. There's so many things that has happened. Apa yang you dah witness yourself, apa yang you dah perhatikan yourself, whether it has to do with the job ataupun outside the job. And then when you started off at Media Prima, and then you went to Astro, and then you went to Bernama, plenty of things that has happened. So maybe you can share with our audiences, quirky ataupun interesting things that has happened. I know there's superbly many, but maybe you can just like fine tune it to 1 or 2 yang sangat menarik yang sampai sekarang you tak boleh lupakan, your experience.
Okay, I think for you and also your audiences will see ada orang jalan kat belakang-belakang tu. Those are my staff taking the lunch pack nak bawa ke our customer punya office, because we supply makanan kepada call centers di belakang. Okay. Now, back to your question, because nanti dia akan lalu apa lalu.
Tak apa. Nampak busy.
Okay. I asked somebody the other day, you tahu tak typewriter macam mana? Not an electronic typewriter, a manual typewriter. Do you know, I started doing reporting with a typewriter. And you just imagine, kalau you start dengan typewriter, okay, you tak boleh copy paste, tak boleh apa, typewriter, and then you dia tak ada print kan, you keluarkan kertas tu and then you show it to your editor. So the editor akan slash ni ke atas ni ke bawah, and you had to retype. Okay, you had to retype. And then, then I was an anchor. So, an anchor akan bawa kertas yang you retype itu, masuk dekat studio and jolokkan dia bawah ada kamera atas kepala. Okay, and atas kepala punya kamera tu akan reflect apa benda kat bawah tu on the teleprompter. So at that time, you know, it is macam like today the system will tell you after you type the story, they can tell you, okay, this is the duration of the story. Yeah. Okay. If you like other stories, you can just pull article, copy paste, and then you redo, tukar, tweak it here, tweak it there, tambah kat sini, masukkan soundbite. Dulu soundbite you kena pergi dengar, now you can actually do it on the system, and you can edit it immediately. So you just imagine how easy it is today. Yeah. So during my time, I had to go to 3 assignments per day. Okay. That's why I kata budak-budak sekarang ni manja lah. Okay. Many people will kill me. But at that time, it is different because it's just different. The drive is different. Okay, today I guess there are many other challenges. Yes, they get you go for maybe 1 or 2, but when you come back, you have to file your stories for the different platforms. Meaning you do one for TV, perhaps another one for wires, perhaps another one for radio. Okay, so today the challenge for journalists berbeza. In fact, the journalism world is also changing. In fact, this is what I told the senior leadership team when I had a conference call yesterday. If you look at the business of journalism, the business of journalism, I think today, business of journalism should be an idea business. Meaning, okay, when people go, so this is where I'm planning to bring Bernama. Maksudnya, bila kita masuk kat dalam satu media tu, tak kisahlah surat khabar apa ke, apa nama brand media tu, orang nak diajak berfikir rather than you just feed them with something. Beliau berkata demikian, tambah beliau lagi, beliau berkata tambah beliau. Okay, those itu journalism masa saya mula dulu. Okay. Jadi sekarang you can only be good if you ask them to think with you. That is why I want to bring Bernama together with the team, and I like the Bernama team actually. Dia terror tapi dia tak tahu dia terror. So you just, hey, tadi you dah buat ni okay je. So it is just bringing the storytelling part into making it exciting supaya you'll be seen as a thought leader. So that's the movement, and people like if you ask them marilah sama-sama berfikir, fikir benda ni, and I think that's something that you all should look out for. So I think the word is tunggu. Tak lama. I think it will happen in just a couple of days. Yesterday, I've been talking with some of your friends, Raifa,
Wow.
Yeah, and they have adopted. So when I gave them that idea, so I thought, okay, this is the idea. Okay, boleh tak? So I said, why don't you bring somebody from this department, from this division? Okay, katakanlah you radio, boleh tak bawa somebody from TV, boleh tak bawa somebody from digital, boleh tak somebody from wires, kan? You know what they said? Cik Mi, boleh tak kita jadi the nucleus team first? Okay. Yes. Jadi kita buat. Jadi bila kita dah besar, kita panggil kawan kita. Jadi kita dah develop something. I thought that was a really good attitude because I think bila kita tengok attitude macam tu, and I think Bernama can go really, really far. Because I think it all starts with a positive attitude. Knowledge, yes. None of us ada complete knowledge of anything dalam dunia. So we learn from one another. But it starts with a great attitude.
Exactly, because again, it is seriously is there. The proof is there. The proof is in the icing. Ever since you actually came on board as a consultant, first of all, that was about 6 months ago.
Yeah, but
there has been some kind of a transformation, which was quite visible, really. And Alhamdulillah, it was for the better. There was actually an article stated that the number of listeners, specifically for Bernama Radio, has gone up. Versus during the early of the year versus late last year. So the proof is there. Tapi I nak tanya you pula, again, your experience, you cerita pasal typewriter. Orang sekarang millennials, I don't even think they know what a typewriter actually looks like.
Ada Azlan ada typewriter. Is that a good one?
Yeah, that's a bad. Yeah, tapi itu pun zaman tak ada zaman baru sekarang. That was maybe about 10 years ago, so macam still lama lagi. Modernization. Again, memang tak dapat dinafikan right now that there's so many platforms out there. We're not just talking about media masa perdana. We're not talking about TV, radio. Akhbar paling terkesan when it comes to nowadays how people are consuming content, how people are distributing content. newspapers in general are a dying breed and all because people are moving on to the digital platform. This trend has been going on for the past 10 years, but somehow banyak lagi company ataupun banyak lagi orang, they weren't prepared for this because they didn't believe the fact that digital will take over slowly and surely. So, how is the transition? Adakah satu perkara yang senang untuk you adaptasi? Granted, you've been in the industry for so long, mentality you orang kata mungkin old school, tapikah adakah old school dapat adapt kepada new school, new technology?
Okay, I'm 58 years old. If I can adapt, I think anybody can adapt. Okay. Now, yes, because I think it is not a matter of you're old or you're young. I know young people who pemikiran dia lagi tua daripada I. Tua tak semaksudnya tak elok. Muda tak semaksudnya elok. So to me, it is about how you create opportunities for yourselves, your brands, and all that. Now, coming back to your question, okay, moving to digital, ada banyak platforms, there's lots of competition, you know. Kita ada banyak strategy. Either you look at the brand as a whole, or which is a very tough thing to do. Katakanlah satu brand tu, katakanlah I name it ABC Media. ABC Media ni dia media, tak kisahlah, dia mungkin dia ada TV, dia ada newspaper, so nama dia ABC Media, okay. Now ABC Media ni might be worried about, okay, we are going to go digital. What will happen to our TV business? What will happen to our newspaper business and all that? Yeah. Well, if you ask me, okay, which is tougher, to change the whole thing, or which is easier? To me, what's easier is if you have really great content, if you have very good story, you don't have to change the whole thing. Katakanlah you punya programming ada 20 program dalam satu hari. Okay. Jadi sebab you nak focus on the platform, you kata all 20 must change at the same time. I think tak perlu. All you do is 2 ataupun 3 really wonderful brands out of the 20. Promote it, milk it, apply marketing communications punya strategy in that. Okay. And then platform agnostic. Tak semestinya benda ni berada dalam satu platform saja. To me, orang kata the traditional media TV itu akan mati dan sebagainya. To me, dia akan mati kalau kita nak dia mati. Ya, kalau kita tak nak dia mati, they will survive because when we know how to tweak and repurpose the content for the different platforms. Contohnya, okay, let's say this is a story. Story ni tentang A. Okay, story A ni if it is to reside on the digital platform, so you have to tweak the treatment sedikit. Okay, kalau it has to appear on a traditional platform, you have to tweak it a little bit. Just a little bit of tweaking, sama lah macam kata kalau you buat satu party untuk kuah. I don't know whether you cook or what, yeah. Okay.
Oh, of course I cook. Yeah, all men cook anyway.
Yeah. Macho men they cook. So dia you masak kuah kan. Kemudian nak tweak sedikit, you tambah sedikit untuk orang yang suka pedas. Orang yang tak suka pedas, tak payah letak cili. Jadi the same thing you apply to the different platforms. Dan mungkin apa yang perlu dalam satu channel ataupun dalam satu organisasi media, 1 or 2 really good content that will the thinking sama macam if you're a venture capitalist. If you're a VC, okay, if you're a VC, you akan ambil 10 risk, 10 project. Tapi make sure and then 9 will fail. But the one thing that will be successful will be able to pay for all the other 9. Yeah. So that is also the thinking in content. Okay, cari content. Macam sekarang you do 20 content per day. Can you focus on 3 good ones? And these 3 good ones akan jadi besar, and you menjadi contoh kepada other brothers and sisters who are also in the line, in that same line, where they see that, can we replicate that success? So that is how you do it. And in fact, that's how we did it in Bernama. Macam mana kita buat 1, 2, and then after that, the rest will come. So I think it's not impossible. Any platform will be successful if the content of that platform makes sense. If it's relatable, if it's credible, and you know how to milk it, you know how to market it. Content tak boleh duduk dengan sendirinya and expect people to like without marketing. It's not just promo. It's about repurposing it for the other platforms and continue marketing it in a very, orang kata, unorthodox way. Jangan buat cara biasa-biasa. You have to think different.
So when you talk about things, when you talk about content, so betul lah. When it's a cliche when they say that content is king. It is true. Content is king.
Content is king if you understand. If you understand, content is really, really king. Sebab, sebab you have to understand. Content is not about just telling a story. It has to be relatable. Yeah. There must be wisdom in it, okay? Audience suka atau tidak, and then how make sure that the product development is well. You have to look at the timeline. It has to be there at the right place at the right time, you know. So there's an art and also science when it comes to content. So you have to know both, and you shouldn't be afraid of taking risks. Ramai orang takut ambil risk ni. Dia kata boleh ke? You know. Like when we started radio bernama, we changed radio bernama to radio station Radio Business Anda, in Bahasa Malaysia. So there were lots of people who are skeptical. So when I introduced the idea, so I said, mengapa tidak? Okay, dekat Malaysia ni dulu, I nak pergi makan ikan patin. Okay, I nak makan ikan patin dekat Shah Alam. Ada satu kedai, I think Tebeluh Patin. Macam tu lah. So I love this place. Okay, I suka makan ikan patin, you know. So I pergi. So bila I pergi dekat sana, I couldn't find any parking space. Apparently, there's this guy, nama dia Azizan Osman, tengah dia buat satu talk, and all these people jammed the whole area of Shah Alam because he wanted to listen to the talk. So and then I pergi lah tengok siapa orang ni pergi talk, and these are young people. I tanya dia, you baru start business? Baru business 1 tahun. Dan dia buat business 1 tahun, baru nak buat start business and all that. So I said, so kenapa you nak pergi dengar Azizan Osman ni? Okay, dia kata sebab ini saya punya first time. You are the first generation Malay to go into business. Jadi apa yang dia nak ialah dia nak mentor, dia nak people who have done it before, they want to listen to the experts, you know, they want to associate themselves and then be around people who have been doing business, because in their communities, family dia tak ada. So dia duduk kat kawasan perumahan tu, all Malays, for example, semua bekerja makan gaji. So dia seorang jadi business. So dia susah nak relate. So they wanted somebody to mentor them. So I said, this is an opportunity, you know, and pada masa tu cuma ada satu radio station, you know, buat business, and it's in English. Yeah. Jadi so I said, so bahasa Malaysia ni ada banyak orang yang boleh faham. So that's when we started station Radio Business Anda, and the team was very worried. Dia orang kata, boleh ke kita buat? Kan? I kata, jangan pitch it very high. We pitch it low because we're targeting small and medium enterprises, startups. Jadi benda tu lebih senang sebab dia lebih soalan-soalan dia. It is not your Harvard Business School. No, it's basically basic storytelling. And true enough, when we launched it, so I kata, don't worry if your listenership turun in the first week. People needed to get used to it. First day, second day pun tak turun. Naik macam nak naik. You know why? Because if you execute it well, you faham apa audience you nak, you give them what they want, and you raise the bar, I think people will just follow you. To me, in anything we do, that should be the spirit.
Ya, sebab it's exactly that, because mungkin ramai dekat luar sana selalu takut to take that leap, that risk yang dia nak ambil, because again at the end of the day they have to think about what's going to happen in the back end, what could happen dari segi financial, dari segi stability, dari segi the whole structure itself, because yelah macam you tak pernah berenang, suddenly orang suruh you terjun laut, obviously that fear is definitely going to be in there, tapi janganlah terjun tanpa persediaan. You need to have your life raft ready, you need to have your pelampung ready. That's where your knowledge comes in kan sebenarnya. Sedia untuk menghadapi apa yang you akan hadapi, itulah. Alright, next question nak tanya you, a quick one as well. Yes, we have gone through a lot of changes, like what we just mentioned, digitalization of media, how things are evolving bit by bit. How do you see things are in the next, let's not even go far, let's look at 10 years, 2030. Even sekarang pun 2020 kita dah rasa macam how media landscape has changed so much because of digital world, because of industry 4.0, because of technology. How is it going to be 2030, you think? Your perspective.
Okay. What you just mentioned sangat penting, and you mentioned 10 years. Okay, now let me tell you. Okay, in the media business, it is not 10 years, it's 6 months, you know. Normally, this is in my previous organization, okay. In my previous organization, when you prepare a budget, A budget is between, you prepare budget revenue semua 3 years to 5 years.
Betul.
Okay. Okay, that's normal. Kemudian, yes, you prepare that, but you have to be prepared that you need to change things within 6 months. Yeah. When I was a CEO in the previous organization, the organization chart would change every 3 months. You know why? Because there's always disruptions. There's always disruptions that comes with technological advancement. Apabila teknologi berubah, jadi kita juga kena berubah. Dan kita berubah di mana kita ambil teknologi ni, bagaimana teknologi ni boleh banyak membantu kita dalam usaha-usaha komunikasi contohnya. Ya. Jadi bila itu berlaku, you have to look at your human capital. Human capital kena align betul-betul dengan what we want to do. I always believe that, katalah teknologi baru, what do you want to put out there? I always berundur. Berundur maksudnya di depan, katalah TV contohnya. Apabila ada teknologi ni, this is TV, this is digital. Yang ni apa orang tengok dekat online, ini apa tengok kat TV. Jadi kalau kita nak menang, kita kata online kena ada ni, kena ada ni, kena ada ni. TV kalau nak menang kena ada ni, kena ada ni, kena ada ni. Okay, this is what we want to do. And now you berundur. Jadi kalau undur, this is adjustment that we have to make. Next adjustment that you have to make. Next adjustment that you have to make. Now, from there you tengok balik you punya human capital. Then you have to retrain. You have to retrain and you have to re-strategize. So because of that, that's why I said kadang-kadang keperluan untuk tukar your org chart every 3 months. Atau you say your org chart is your management chart. Maksudnya kalau you nak orang sign overtime, lah, yang itu ada. But the functional role will not have to follow the org chart. So it is to me, a proper org chart for today is dia bulat, ada lagi satu bulat, ada lagi satu bulat, because I pernah terbaca that was the functional org chart, the Apple during Steve Jobs punya time. So there is a need for you to change. It's not 10 months and it's not 10 years. It's as fast as 6 months.
6 months.
Wow. Yes. In fact, yesterday when I had a meeting with the senior leadership team, I said, guys, let's plan for the next 3 months. What are the surprises that we want to give the market within the next 3 months? How do we adjust? How do we adjust our movement, and how do we adjust human capital? Mana kita nak pergi macam mana kita nak ke depan, and what would be the surprises? Because your content have to be must have excitement. Kalau tidak, tak ada. Kalau macam Hollywood, that's a Hollywood formula in storytelling. Dalam 1 minit tu tiba-tiba ada net, lepas tu berdebar.
Dia kena ada peak dia punya climax dia, and then like
sama juga dalam news business. Kalau news business
if it's monotonous, memang orang akan bosan juga sebenarnya. So you have to be something different. Kena ada inject that uniqueness, that kelebihan sebenarnya throughout the whole segment.
Exactly.
Wow, 33 minit kita dah sembang, Cik Mi. Rasa macam masa berlalu cepat sangat dah. Oh my goodness.
You cannot extend this one lah. This is fun lah.
No, I can, tapi takkan nak buat sampai 2 jam, Cik Mi. Okay, I mean, to be fair, again, it's really awesome actually, because banyak sebenarnya kita boleh belajar apa from what you have actually explained. But before we go, I do really want you to just educate our viewers again about your program, your tawaran, apa yang you tawarkan. Where can they get that information from of your online courses, your online programs?
Okay, I lead an exciting life. Okay, in addition to
I can attest to that. I can attest to that. Yeah.
So in addition to all the courses that I give, you can actually go to www.suhaimisulaiman.net. Satu perkataan, suhaimisulaiman.net. It's spelled SUHAIMI. Ada orang panggil Suhaimi Barber the other day. Apa khabar Cik Suhaimi Barber? No, I'm not that creative lady. She's a different woman. So it's www.suhaimisulaiman.net. So you can just go there and see what I do.
All right, so that's all your offerings and whatever not is actually on that website. Yes. Kalau you all berminat untuk berguru dengan the legendary Suhaimi Sulaiman, you can actually approach him on that website. There's plenty of things that you rasa you mungkin tahu tapi you banyak tak tahu juga sebenarnya. So it's always better to learn from the best. If not pun, it's always good to exchange knowledge. At the end of the day, you will never stop learning sebenarnya. All right, last words, Cik Mi, to your last words to all the audiences out there.
My last word, my last words would be,
apart from going to Melaka and visit your BNB after this MCO is lifted.
You're always welcome. But I think in life, jangan, we have 2 choices in life. Nombor satu, kita nak jadi biasa-biasa, or like the other one, nak jadi luar biasa, have fun, contribute to the society, and make yourself maksudnya kita jadikan diri kita exciting and inspiring, you know. So when you're exciting and inspiring, you radiate positive energy and you actually attract positive energy back, and that is what life is all about. That's where you contribute to nation building, to community building, and people around you will feel good with you. So I always believe at the end you look young by doing that.
Yes, of course. Itu sebenarnya because I would have thought that you were 58. You look nothing. You're like my age. You're like, you know, kita macam satu peer sebenarnya.
And with hair, you know.
And with hair. Bersyukur manusia you ada rambut. Okay. And I mean, in contrast to what people may believe, this is not a fashion statement. This is syarat wajib sebenarnya because there's nothing left for me to show off.
But you look good. You look cool.
Alhamdulillah, thank you so much. That's it, folks. Suami Sulaiman together with us. Thank you so much again to Cik Mi for coming on board on Sembang Sempoi on today's edition. Hari ni memang special untuk Cik Mi, kita kena buat awal because he's a busy man. But again, the fact that you dapat luangkan masa, I'm really grateful for that.
Wait, yeah. I will share this one. I tadi lupa nak share because I was just so engrossed. I can share kan? Boleh?
Yeah, you can share it right now. It's fine. People can watch it after the fact pun tak apa.
Yeah.
After lah tengok viewer I sikit sebenarnya sebab you tak share, so I tak dapat nak review for you. Okay, but yeah, that's it for now. Thank you so much, folks, for watching. As always, kata-kata akhir, kita jaga kita, duduk di rumah. Jom kita sama-sama memutuskan rantaian COVID-19 ini for us to be able to live our lives back again and be able to actually socialize balik rather than doing this social distancing right now. But whatever it is, you all take care, be safe, and yeah, be well. All right, say bye-bye, Cik Mi. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Assalamualaikum. See ya.